You ever been in a room full of people you absolutely love, but all you can think about is just leaving? That sudden, overwhelming need to just be by yourself? It's not you being weird or antisocial. It's actually a totally universal human thing. And today, we're going to get into what it is, why it happens, and why, believe it or not, it might be one of the best things you can do for your relationships. Okay, so let's talk about that feeling, that sudden urge to just pull away from everyone. It can pop up out of nowhere, right? And it often comes with this side of guilt, making you feel bad and maybe making the people around you feel a little confused or hurt. So, what is actually going on there? I mean, really. Have you ever had that feeling where you just want to hit a pause button on the world and vanish for a bit? Not forever, obviously, but just long enough to get away from all the noise, the talking, the expectations. If you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's way deeper than just wanting a little peace and quiet. And you know you're in that zone when even your phone feels heavy. That little ping of a new message doesn't feel like a friend saying hi. It feels like another task you just don't have the energy for. Every single notification feels like a weight, and just thinking about typing a reply seems like a marathon. Or how about this? You're in a conversation, and you're nodding, you're smiling, but on the inside, you're a million miles away. You're just going through the motions, kind of performing the role of a social person, but none of the real energy is behind it. It just feels hollow. And that's when this happens. Being alone stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like a genuine relief. The thought of an empty room with no one to talk to, nothing to react to, well, that suddenly becomes the most appealing thing in the entire world. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. It's a really powerful instinct. So what's the deal? Why do we feel this way? Well, it's not a character flaw. It's not you being moody. It's actually just biology. Your brain is amazing, but it's not a perpetual motion machine. It has limits. So let's look at the really simple science of what's happening behind the curtain. Okay, think about your brain's energy like a phone battery. All day long, it's juggling a million things, making choices, handling emotions, processing what people are saying, and just like your phone, that battery gets low. When it hits that critical red zone, your brain flips into a kind of low power mode. Its number one priority becomes conserve energy. And what's one of the biggest strains on our energy? Social interaction. So to protect its battery, your brain tries to cut off that stimulation, which creates that powerful, undeniable urge to get away and be alone. And this is probably the biggest takeaway of this whole explainer. It's a huge mindset shift. Because what we feel like we're doing in that moment and what's actually happening in our biology are two completely different things. We tend to wrap up this very normal biological need in a thick layer of social guilt. So look at this. On the left, that's the story we tell ourselves, right? I'm being a bad friend. I'm pushing people away. I'm rejecting them. But the reality on the right is so much simpler and kinder. It's not personal. It's a biological process. You're not rejecting people. Your brain is just recovering energy. That's it. I want you to just let that sink in for a second. Read that again. Your need for space isn't a failure. It's not mean. It is simply your mind's natural, healthy way of recovering. Man, internalizing this one idea can free you from so much unnecessary guilt. It gives you permission to give yourself what you need without feeling like you have to apologize for it. So if the goal is actually recovery, well, that changes the whole story, doesn't it? You're not running away from your life or your friends. You're actually running towards a healthier, more sustainable way of being in it. The whole point isn't negative. It's incredibly positive. And there's a name for this. We can call it restorative distance. It's an active, intentional choice. And look at those keywords: temporarily and to recover. It's not about permanent isolation. It has a very specific purpose. And that purpose is all about coming back stronger and more able to connect. Let's make this super clear. The goal is not isolation just for the sake of it. It's not about putting up walls. The true goal is restoration. It's like stepping back from a painting to see it better. You're stepping back to recharge so you can step forward again with real energy, real presence. So what's the long-term payoff here? I mean, what's the point of doing all this? Well, it might sound a little backward, but taking time for yourself is actually one of the best things you can do for your relationships. It prevents that burnout, that feeling of resentment that can build up when you're always running on empty. Because ultimately, when you honor your need for this restorative distance, you get to show up as your best self. You come back to your friends, your family, your partner, not because you have to, but because you genuinely want to. You've got the energy for it.
It's really a strategy for long-term health in all your connections. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What does this look like for you? Maybe it's a quiet walk in the morning. Maybe it's an hour with a good book. Maybe it's just a drive with no music on. Whatever it is, recognizing what you need and giving yourself permission to take it, well, that's not selfish. It's absolutely essential. It's how you make sure you actually have something left to give to the people who matter most.